Dumubewe o Maria, dumubewe lia bia, dumubewe lia bia, dumubewe o Maria. Gizmo, Gizmo the video man. Dumubewe o Maria, dumubewe lia bia, dumubewe lia bia, dumubewe o Maria. Gizmo, Gizmo the video man.
Welcome to my channel. So my name is Gizmo.
Welcome back to my update for my movie collection. So now it's been almost 4 months since the last time I did one, so I thought it was about time, also so I can put back the titles in the shelves. So there will be some titles that I've already sold. Most of them is from Wingard Syndrome and Wingard Syndrome partner labels. Yeah, the titles I will go through now, most of these titles I will keep in my collection, at least the ones I've seen, because it means that I like them in one way or another. So first one up here is Spermageddon. This is a Norwegian film by the director Tommy Wirkola. He did Dead Snow and a lot of different Norwegian films that has brought international attention, but he also did some Hollywood production like Hansel and Gretel and The Trip and yeah, some other films. He did this with Rasmus Sivertsen, a Norwegian director as well, who is mostly known for doing animation films. I've only seen Kurt Turns Evil and the first Captain Sabletooth that he did, and a terrible television miniseries called Fantomas. But he is probably the Norwegian guy who have done most animation. What's cool about this film is that it actually got bought up by Shaw Brothers, and so it's got a release in China, in Singapore, and most Asian countries. I think it's got pretty broad release. It's a love story between teens, and it's also a separated story about a seaman, I think it's called Simon, who needs to reach the egg before everyone else. This is not a movie for me. I didn't like it, but I could see that children and some people that follow my channel could like this film. It's not my type of film though. But next one up is Don't Hang Up, an American, Norwegian maybe production, directed by Alex Herron. He did the movie Dark Window. I wasn't a big fan of that movie either. I thought it was way better than this one at least. He also did a movie called Leave that I didn't like, but Dark Windows is his best job so far in my book. Don't Hang Up is probably the worst film I've seen this year. At least it's high up there competing about being the worst. It's an insane, weird movie that this ever got actually made. I can't understand it. I remember it was something about the Tulsa massacre and a wedding, if I remember rightly, and then a dude shows up on the phone, and he just shows up every time the movie needs him to show up to tell us, the audience, what's going on. And yeah, there was some bad CGI effects in it, and I think just the idea behind how the movie looks is also really weird. I do not recommend that one. But I'm lucky I have it because I collect all Norwegian. Insomnia. So this is the remake of the Norwegian classic. This is the one from 2002 by Christopher Nolan. The Norwegian one I think is a masterpiece. Erik Skjoldberg did that in 1997. This is a good movie, but it kind of... I don't really see why they remade the original and they didn't put in the remake the most important thing from the original that made the original. So it's kind of weird watching this film thinking that you have such a big name director. I know he was pretty new when he did this one, and so much money involved, big names, Robin Williams, Al Pacino, Hilary Swank is also in it. But it's so weird that they didn't push it the way the Norwegian film did, because, yeah, I don't know. But I will guess that's because of the strict rules in Hollywood when it comes to kind of sexual behavior or whatever. Lake Jesup So this is Lake Jesup Bone Crusher's Revenge. This is actually the worst film I've seen in 2025. Man, maybe the worst film I've seen in many years. It tries to be a thriller, it tries to be a horror, it tries to be a love story, it tries to be an animal attack film. And I would just say it falls flat on every aspect. The lead dude in this film, also a big motherfucker, he's so stiff throughout the entire film. I don't think I ever seen he's not bad in acting, but it's just so fucking... He doesn't have a mimic in his face or anything like that. It's really, really weird. And I read that the movie cost $11 million. So I'm just thinking that has to be a joke. It has to be a joke because this doesn't look like 11 million. And there is no big name actors in it either. So I have no idea where the money went. I would actually say that Bruno Mattei make better shark attack films than this movie make alligators. Because there are almost non-alligators in the fucking film. And on top of that, the alligator attacks we have in the film is just seeing an alligator, see a person's afraid, and then you see the person going nuts in the water, and then there are some blood. That's what you get. Next one up is Lilo and Stitch. This is the double movie collection of the remake and the original. So I have not seen the film since it was released in 2002, I think. I remember I thought it was pretty good, but it never felt like a Disney classic to me. It was more like a random fun film they released back in the 90s, you know, like a goofy movie, really fun movie, but it's not part of the classics. But Disney have had some of these films up over the years. The remake I haven't seen yet, but I want to see the first one again before I see the remake, just so I can compare them. And also I want to show these to my daughter. The Warriors. So I actually didn't have this in the collection. And yeah, Walter Hill, I don't think he has done a bad movie back in his prime days during the 70s, 80s. But when I was a kid, I watched this film and I never really liked it back in the days. I felt it was a little bit too goofy. But I think I will love it today, so I need to go back and watch it again. I'm looking forward to check it out. I'm just thinking, I saw Driver for the first time actually 2 years ago. I think that was a movie made just before this one, if I'm not mistaken. And he did Southern Comfort, rewatched that last year, I think it was. Amazing film, 48 Hours, Streets of Fire, Red Heat, one of my favorite Schwarzenegger films. Also like the 90s Geronimo. Trespass is a pretty decent film. And I even like his comedy, Brewster's Millions. Makes me miss John Candy. The Brutalist. So this is a 2024 film. I think it was Oscar, 3 Academy Awards, yeah. It's a Norwegian actually writer in this, so that's one of the reasons I bought it. Mona Fastvold. I actually seen only one of her films that she directed. It's called Sleepwalkers, I think. Saw it back in 2014 maybe. And I still need to check out the movie she wrote called, was it Vux Lux or something like that with Natalia Portman. Still haven't seen that one. But yeah, I had to get this. It was, all of these films have been part of a sale, so I just grabbed them for a cheap buck. Same with Mickey 17. This is a movie I normally would run to the cinema and see because Bong Joon-ho, the director of Memory of Murder, The Host, Mother, Okja, Barking Dogs Never Bite, Parasite, Snowpiercer, and so on. I liked most of his films, and I loved at least 2 of them. I love Mother and Memory of Murder. Memory of Murder is probably my favorite South Korean film. I don't know. I read about this film, and I saw some clips, I think, and it didn't look that interesting to me. So it just, I didn't go and see it. And I think, or I actually don't know why, but now I will see it at least. Mark Ruffalo is also in it, and I'm not a big fan of him. September 5. So this was also a movie this was actually a movie I didn't hear about before it was released on Blu-ray. So, and I read a little bit about it. So it went past me. It's from director Tim, I think it's Febam or something like that. He also did a German film I actually went to the premiere on back in 2011. I wonder if that was his first feature. It's called Hell. It's a post-apocalyptic film. It was decent. Interesting, I would rather say. I didn't like it that much, but it was an interesting take on the post-apocalyptic aspect. This film is about a terror group in the 72 Summer Olympic. I think it was in Germany, if I'm not mistaken, where they held some Israeli athletes as hostages. And yeah, I'm just interested in seeing it. It sounds a little bit like those thrillers, drama thrillers that we got in the 90s. And it's also based on true events. So. Next one up is The Tale of Princess Kaguya. This is based on the 10th century Japanese folk tale. I think that's the one that I read was the oldest one in Japan that they have found, at least. If I remember rightly, because I can remember this story was told, the folk horror story, or folk story was told through a series, Naruto, that I watched, where you had one of the characters. And I think it's something about a kid or a girl that is kind of being birthed or something like that inside a bamboo tree. Stalk, I think it's called, yeah. But I also remember the Naruto version went into sci-fi territory. So let's see. I love anime, so. Next one up was a movie that was released last month, I think. It's Rockstar. It was part of the stack I have of DVDs that I wanted to upgrade on Blu-ray or 4K. So this is Marky Mark and Jennifer Aniston in this classical story about nobody becoming a somebody. I think he gets the chance to perform at one concert with his like his favorite group, rock group. Then he gets the job to be part of the group. So it's kind of a wish come true movie. What I remember mostly from this film, and it's kind of weird, is there's a gangbang where he and his girlfriend Jennifer Aniston is drunk or using drugs or everything together, and they wake up and they've been fucking the whole hotel room. And I was just thinking, watching it, okay, this is kind of like a love story, and the movie ends in this typical kind of love story vibe. But now you know that your girlfriend has been fucking the entire hotel room. It's kind of weird, but I love this film. I think it's a strange, weird movie that came out in the beginning of 2000. Django Unchained, Tarantino, my least favorite Tarantino film actually, but I didn't have it on anything else than DVDs. I had to upgrade it. So yeah, I've talked about this many times on my channel. I don't need to do it again. So that was all of the, what you call it, like the normal studio releases. Go over to the few I have from the Norwegian Film Classics. Second Lieutenant, or it's called The Last Lieutenant in English. This is a 90s war movie from the Second World War. And it's about a retired captain who goes into service during the German invasion of Norway. One of the few movies that actually go into guerrilla warfare here in Norway, and I like that. But I hadn't seen this before. I thought I had seen it, but I was a little bit disappointed with it, to be honest. It wasn't bad. I will absolutely keep it. It felt a little bit stiff and a little bit theatrical at times. But I do think Espen Schönberg and Björn Sundqvist has a small role in it as well. I think both of them are great in it. And also Camilla Ström, I can't remember her last name. She is really beautiful in this one. She is a woman with a really special look. And I've seen her in a couple of films now. Always stands out. She's a director today. She has done some features. Phoenix was probably her last, at least the last I've seen. Høvdingen. So this is a 84 movie from Norway. Really experimental kind of thing. I think it leans really heavily on The Shining for the first 30 minutes of the movie. But then it goes into some real strange melancholic drama shit that I didn't like that much, to be honest. But there are scenes within there with Vibeke Løkkeberg that I always liked on screen, that are really crazy. There is a birth scene that I actually didn't want to see. And then you have a scene with her and when she's pregnant, standing nude somewhere. I can't remember if it was in the kitchen or whatever it was. It's kind of a close and personal story from both. I think they were married, if I'm not mistaken, and have children together. And this was kind of a family production. But I'm happy I own it, and I will keep this because it's a experimental kind of feature that I can go back to and watch again. I think it would have been better if it was 20 minutes shorter or something. It's 2 hours long almost. Next one up is The Wild Horse. This is a movie I hated as a kid, but it was not my type of movie. It's about girls and horses. Yeah, so as a teenager, it's kind of not the first thing a boy wants to see. But today I actually thought it was pretty decent. It's absolutely not great, but it's something about the low-key production and the cozy 90s country feeling that kind of elevates itself up to becoming something special. The dialect in the film is also really cute. And there is also actually moments in the film where they dare to go pretty damn dark for a kid movie, and I like that. And when I mean dark, I'm just thinking of the mood, the horror setting in a way. Next one up was a really experimental thing, but it doesn't feel that experimental. But when you think about it, it is. Junior Heads is it called in America. It's from 1980, and this is the first time I think this movie ever got a physical release. I'm super happy Norwegian Film Classic released this one. It's a very, very strange. It's kind of had this Orson Welles kind of vibe to it. And it's I don't know. It has a satire to it throughout the entire story, where you never are truly sure where it's headed, and it feels like it's going in a really dark direction, like Pointer, where you are when you visit Never Neverland in Peter Pan. So it's kind of like that. But it also kind of touches within, you know, those nuclear films that was part of the 80s and late 70s, 80s in the Cold War. It's a really interesting film, and I think all the girls in this one look so beautiful. It's kind of the setting and everything, and I think they got a lot out of nothing, almost, in this film. So it's an interesting film I'm super happy to own. So next one up, and the last one in the Norwegian Film Classic, is The Chasers. This was nominated for the Palme d'Or in Cannes, when Cannes still meant something. Back in the 50s, 60s, I think. I'd never seen this one before, but I had the DVD of it for a long time. Heard only good things about it. Bente Børsom is really good in this one. It was fun to see her really young. And also the way they break the fourth wall in this was really amazing to me for its time. There is something really early Deadpool-ish in this film. And I say Deadpool shit when I really should say cuffs. Yeah. I do recommend this one. I could see Criterion release this Norwegian film at a point. It feels like a Criterion kind of thing. And everybody will love it, of course, when Criterion release it. Next one up is a small little box set, if you like. Or it's actually a normal release, though. But it's from Winger Syndrome, Bloodstain, Italy. First film in this one is That Falls Lightly. Decent little jolly that I don't see myself ever revisiting. Way too many males in the film, and the mystery just did not work for me. Patricia Viatti was cute, and nice to see her in a bigger role than she got in Amok. And the movie reminds me of, the German, what's it called again? It reminds me of that. Erika, the Performer. It's a movie I haven't seen for many, many years now, but I really want to check it out again. It was some sort of German coming-of-age not comedy, drama in a way. But I remember I liked it a lot. The only scene I remember from the film is actually from this film was actually a weird bat scene with a beautiful woman that where you had in the background a monkey swinging around. For no damn reason at all, that monkey was just doing a lot of acrobatic in the background for probably 2-3 minutes in the shot. It looks actually like it was hanging from the neck for a moment. I thought it was going to die. It's probably a big important reason for it since it's Italy. The next movie in this box set is Upskin Desire. I think that must be one of the horniest jolly films I've ever seen. It's basically Rosemary's Baby with some horny housewife sleaze in the mix. Decent and fine, but again the mystery was a bit boring for me in this one as well. Marish Mel was also cast a little bit too old in this role, I think. And the last film in this one is Bloodstained Lawn. When I watched that film, I knew I was going to keep this set. This is as close you can come of an exploitation in Italy during the prime days. Is it a comedy? Is it a horror? Is it a drama? Is it a sci-fi? Is it a jolly? Yeah. There is nudity and it doesn't happen logically. It just bam and there it is. Plot, some hippies starts getting killed one by one and and here the mystery starts. The only mystery I had with this film is how the fuck did this movie ever get made? And I love the film. But there is also some really weird 50s, 60s sci-fi robot in the mix here. It's everything. So that movie made me know that I will keep this forever till the day I die. Next one up is Confession of a Psycho Cat, also Winger Syndrome. So this was a really big surprise for me, this box set. First off, this little jam was a cat and mouse ride in a way, with some softcore erotic in the mix. Feels like a roughy, but it really is not. It's more an erotic sexploitation kind of ish film. It's kind of hard to put it in sexploitation as well, actually, when I think about it, because it's kind of a little bit too stylistic for it, and it's also a little bit soft on that era. But it has some film noir vibes to it, and yeah, I just love the mood in it. But the big surprise for me with this was actually the fat black pussycat. So I've had this poster and this teaser on my channel since I fucking started my channel on YouTube. It's a movie I knew about from the 90s, but I always thought it was just a joke, that there was no movie. I thought it was a fake teaser. So when I saw this was going to get released, I was super happy. When I watched the film, I was even more happy. I didn't love the film, just to say it like that, but there is so many things in the film that I love. The opening shot is incredible beautiful. It's a back alley somewhere, and there's a nude lady lying. I think she was nude. Probably in my head she was nude at least. And yeah, it looks so beautiful. And you have this cat going through the entire film. The only big mistake I would say for the cat or the title, it should be the skinny black pussycat, because that cat was absolutely not fat at all. But yeah, I like this film a lot. The only thing I didn't like that much was all the talking with the guys. I thought it went on for too long. Normally it does in those films. You want the goodies, right? So I only seen Vice Academy 1. So that's the only one I can actually talk about. But you got Linnea Quigley and Ginger Lynn Allen in the first one. I think they are in the second as well. But I only seen the first and I liked it a lot. It's exactly what you need from this kind of film. The only thing I didn't like that much was kind of the spoof shit from Police Academy. I didn't think that worked that well. But all of the sleaze stuff was really fun. Really dig that one. And I'm looking forward to check out the rest. Next one up is a partner label. And it's Warm Water Under a Red Bridge. This is from 2001 and it's Film Movement to release this. So this is a beautiful love story about a businessman traveling to the fishing village where he meets a beautiful woman with a special gift. She can fucking squirt rivers out of her. But it looks on the cover, and when I say it, it looks kind of like they are goofing around with it. But they are not. They take this film 100% serious. And it's a beautiful story, actually. The mood is beautiful, and when she is doing what she's doing, she only does it 3 times in the film. But they go a little bit overboard with it, but never so much that you are sitting there laughing out of it. It's kind of dark humor, but still, they keep it serious. And it's directed by one of Japan's most famous directors. I've actually only seen 2 of his films, sadly. Vengeance is Mine. And this one. I need to check out more of him. Next one up is a documentary I got from Shudder, Sharksploitation, also part of Winger Syndrome's partner labels. So this is a documentary I blind bought. It was just a throw in the basket kind of thing. I had some points I wanted to use. This is a brand new doc from 2023, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it's the history about sharks in movies. I was a little bit disappointed with this one since they didn't have more about Lucio Fulci's Zombie, because that shark scene is probably my favorite of every movie ever made. But they have a little bit of it. But I actually like this movie way more than I should. It's not a good or well-made documentary, but it is kind of, the subject matter is something I like. I love shark films. The only thing I think they should have cut down a little bit on were all the boring-ass asylum films. I'm not interested in ghost sharks and sharks in the sand and all of that shit. But I do think they managed to focus a lot of the 70s, and the 70s shark era is fun. And there was actually one shark film I never seen that was part of the list that I've written down. But I do recommend this one if you're into shark films, or if you just want to, see if you can find any shark films you want to see. Next one up is We Are What We Are, a Mexican horror-ish film from 2010. IFC released this one. I had actually seen the American remake from 2013 of this film, but I didn't know it was a remake before I watched this. And after seeing this film, I completely understand they ripped it off. The remake I didn't like at all. This one I thought was 50-50. I did love all the stuff about cannibalism, if I can say that, but a lot of the drama stuff never impacted me in any way, so it felt a little bit flat. But it was way better than an American one. So I would recommend this one to check it out. It has some decent gore, but it's not a movie you will remember forever and ever after you see it. But I will keep it. So next one up was a really big surprise to me that they released. This is from Coltpix, Anita Swedish Nymphet, from 1973. It is kind of a fun film watching it in retrospect. I'm thinking, since I watched it as a much younger myself. I have this on DVD from Another World Entertainment, but I have not seen it probably in 15 years now or something. Watching it now is kind of fun, as I said, seeing the retrospect on how they were using sex addiction as something that is dangerous as hell, is almost like the worst disease you can ever have. It kind of made me laugh through scenes that I shouldn't laugh. Stella Skarsgård is going deep inside Christina Lindberg in this one, literally and also figuratively. And it has a little bit of sexploitation in it, but it feels more like a psychological drama study with a kind of sense of sleaze. That's the best way to describe it. I actually wonder if this and Flossie, and Maybe I Am Curious, can be the most famous Swedish films inside more liberal 60s, 70s kind of liberal sexual vibe kind of stuff. Because there is other Swedish films, but these are the kinds that are mentioned most often. And I love these films. I hope they release more of Lindberg's films in the future. Journey to Japan, Sex and Fury, 2 movies I really, really want. I have them on, or I have Sex and Fury on DVD. Pelle the Conqueror. This is a great Danish immigrant drama from the 80s. Super happy they released this film. This is also a film movement. I hope Lysten Fagringstor could be another film movement could release. That's a movie I really, really want. I don't even have that on DVD. I think this is Max von Sydow's best role, at least as far as I've seen. And maybe the best immigrant story out there after Scarface. Maybe. Won Oscar for Best Foreign Film, Cannes Palme d'Or again, Golden Globe. And it looks, incredible in production design and in DP work. It's insanely nice looking, gritty atmosphere and everything. Freeze Me from 2000. This is a Connie release. Movie from Japan. Maybe the second most original rape revenge movie made after the 1990s. It has a really cool revenge plot setup kind of thing. Some really memorable kills. One of them will never leave my skull. I think the bathtub scene is insane cool in this film. The way it's shot, minimalistic, but still keep the acting going, like just playing with how things would maybe go down in real life. That's what really makes this film. And the movie never goes into torture porn territory, so that's a really good thing. Keeps the realism and the psychological drama intact and blend it really, really well. Highly recommend this one. Next one up is The Gullspång Miracle. So this is a Swedish documentary with Norwegian money, actually. A true crime type of thing that I can't talk about without spoiling the film. But what I can say is that I like the style and the directing of the film, but the ending was a little bit weak to me. Because through the entire film, it goes in different direction where you think it's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. But it actually narrows it down in the ending in a way that is kind of taking out all the air of the balloon. It really bugged me, the ending. But as I said, I really liked the film up till the ending. It's a good documentary. Maria Fredriksson, I think this is her first cinema documentary, if I'm not mistaken. Hope she makes more. Interesting voice. Next one up is Sea Fog. So this was a blind buy from me, one of those that I have 1 to 2 of those in a month from Winger Syndrome. A South Korean drama. It's sold as a thriller, but I would rather call it a drama with a twist into another genre later on in the story. The movie took me really out of guard, and I actually liked it a lot. Great DP work, nice to see movies without CGI shitty ocean effects that I think every movie has nowadays when they film ocean. I don't know why, but something new. And it's actually directed by the writer of Memory of Murder. So, yeah. And also the lead actor in Chaser is one of the main characters in the film. He's good. Next one up is another partner label title. Commando Ninja Invasion America. ETR Media, I think they are called, released this one. I'm actually one of them who actually liked the first one a little bit, Commando Ninja. This is a spoof film like the first. It takes American action films like Predator, Commando, Rambo, etc. and mix it with Jurassic Park, Alien, yeah, and a lot more. And then they throw in some exploitation style thing from the 70s. They never go as far as they should have gone when it comes to that, because that's the thing that could really elevate the films up to another level. There is a mix of everything in this one. There is action, a lot of action. A lot of bad comedy, good comedy, nudity, bad effects, pretty good effects also. And the strange thing about this is actually a French production. They speak French through the entire film, but they dub to American as well, so you can pick and choose. But it's kind of weird because the whole movie is super American. But that's the point with the film, right? Don't go into it thinking you will get Man with a Naked Gun kind of style humor, because it never gets up there. But I like them. And also it's 2.5 hours long, the second one. I should have had it for 2 hours at max. Feed the Light, I only bought this through Severin Films because it's Swedish production. I collect Swedish and Norwegian and Finnish and Danish films. So this is a 2014 film I haven't seen yet. But it looks really experimental of the pictures I've seen. This one I kept back up till this sale, and I bought it to Severin, Masturbation Gunman. I heard friends of mine say it's really fun. And I seen one of his films, what was the name? Sensitive New Age Killer. And I didn't love that film. It wasn't bad, but I didn't love it. But I heard this one is a lot of fun from people I know. So I will give it a chance. I will probably watch it with friends at a B-movie night. The next one is also a Severin title. And this is one I wanted for 2-3 years now, ever since I saw an interview with Gus Benoit, where he spoke about the director Eloy de la Iglesia. I think it was maybe at the release of The Creature, because I fucking love that film. And that's one of his earlier films from 77, if I'm not mistaken. But he also did Cannibal Man that I still haven't watched. But I heard that these 3 films is amazing. So I wanted this since I saw the interview. Next one up is a Czechoslovakian horror, I don't know, Ferrat Vampire. Blood Drinking Car Weirdo. It's directed by Juraj Herz, who also did my favorite Beauty and the Beast. Amazing film, one of my favorite horror films of all time. I had really high hopes for this film, mostly because of the director. But I did like some of the DP work and I did like some of the look of the film. But I thought it was kind of lacking something. It felt like it never really got going. You can clearly see that Julia Ducournau, I can't remember her name, Titan director, she must have seen that film and got a lot of inspiration from it to make Titane. The Shark Hunter from '79, Jaws ripoff, or is it? They say every shark movie is a Jaws ripoff, right? This one is a weird one, but it's Castellari, and I think every movie I've seen from him is kind of, you know what he's trying to do, but he always kind of wants so much more in his stories, so they drift off in every kind of directions. So this feels more like a road trip movie maybe, with a heist kind of feel to it and some sharksploitation action in it. There isn't much sharksploitation action, but there are some really cool shark moments in it. And a really weird wig on Franco Nero. So, but I actually like this film a lot. I felt calm watching it. I had fun with it. I wanted to be at that location. It was so beautiful. So this one I will keep. Next one up is a movie I haven't seen on Blu-ray yet, but I have 3 different versions of this film on VHS, and I have one on DVD, and now I have it finally on Blu-ray. If it comes on 4K, I need to think about it, but... So this is not a good film at all, but I love it. I have so much nostalgia for it. I grew up with this one. It was actually called The Devilfish on an earlier release I saw. I don't remember who released that one, but I hated that title because I always knew it as Monster Shark. And actually my VHS cover is cooler than this cover, but I had the original cover for the film. And Valentina, or something like that, Monnier, she's in this one. She's in multiple films that I've seen, and she's always hot as hell. Next one up is What Have They Done to Your Daughters? So this is kind of a spiritual sequel to the more famous What Have They Done to Solange? I always liked this a bit more. I done it since I saw all the 3 films together, because I had seen What Have They Done to Solange and I had seen this one before, but then I watched all 3 together 4 years ago or something. And yeah, I still think this is the best one. It's more because it's so focused on what's going on, and it's kind of more of a slasher than the other ones is. And I'm not the biggest slasher fan, but this is kind of a crime slasher in a way. And I do love the look of the killer. Yeah, and I think Red Rings of Fear is kind of weak. It's too out of focus. And Solange is really dark, the story, but I think it's a little bit slow paced. This one is really, really good. I'm super happy to finally own it on Blu-ray. But here is a movie I freaking love. So I saw this film for the first time not many years ago. It's a 1982-83 film. I can't remember. Cult film released this. It's called in English One Deadly Summer. I just turned around the cover because I love the original cover art. But this movie really blew me away. I saw it, like I said, 3, 4, 5 years ago for the first time, and then I revisited it 2 years ago maybe, and then I saw it right away when I got it now. It's kind of the best prediction kind of a psychopathic woman that has ever done on film, in my opinion, where it goes into realism, but you are kind of feeling like you're following her brain throughout the film without knowing it. And you're feeling the opposite around for the first half of the film. But when you understand what really is going on, then the movie just elevates itself to another layer. And I will just say, Isabella Gianti, she looks so damn beautiful in this film. It's insane because she looks like one of the most beautiful models in the world, but at the same time, she managed to act better than anyone else in the world in this film. She is insane good. I love every second of the movie. And there's a scene in that film that really, really bugs me. It's hard to watch. The Legend of Ochi. So I know nothing about it except that I think it's shot in Germany, at least in Europe somewhere. And it's an A24 production. But it was on sale when I bought this, so I just grabbed it. And I think this is original A24 release also, so I will watch it. I haven't seen it yet. So this is an umbrella title I picked up. This was a blind buy for me. Suburban Mayhem, a 2006 film. It borrows a lot from the American 90s punk trash films that was really popular from, I would say, mid-90s to maybe really early 2000. The movie is based on real events in Australia about some siblings who killed some people in Australia. And it's also a bit of a coming-of-age story. I liked it. It's a super fun sex scene in the film where the dialogue is amazing. The lead actress, I really think, is good in this one. And yeah, it's just as gritty as it needs to be and just as a love story as it needs to be. There is no love story. You can think of it as a love story. Science of Sleep. I actually had this on DVD and I wanted to see it for many years, but I didn't know I had it on DVD. I bought it used at a point and had it low in the stack, but now I got it on Blu-ray. And I will take this to some friends and we will watch it together. Wanted to see it for years, as I said, and same director who did Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, Mikel Godry, I think his name is, and Charlotte Gainsborough is in it. She's always amazing. I don't know anything about it, except that I heard it's really arty-party in a good way. This one I don't need to talk about. I love this film, Crocodile Dundee 2. This one I saw 2 weeks ago on cinema. I've seen it probably 100 times. Still as amazing today as it was back in the days when I saw it as a kid. Amazing Toxifast. And we had a lot of people showing up at the cinema when we saw it. I actually bought the rights to screen it. So that was cool. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This one I also hold back now till December. Really looking forward to check it out again. Been a long time since I saw it. One of the best comedies ever made. Probably seen this one 200 times. I don't know. I've seen it a lot of times. Casper. Yeah, so this is a movie I saw a bunch of times as a kid, but I didn't see it for probably 15 years or something. But when I went back to it some years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago or something, on Blu-ray, I fucking love the film still. It's one of those 90s movies that holds best up when it comes to special effects and everything. And the kids are so good in it. And and the dialogue is also amazing in the film, actually. There are some cheap kind of moments, but it's pretty depth to the dialogue in this one. There is a sentence in it that I never forget that I think is kind of meaningful in so many layers. When the kids say, or when Casper say, but he says it as well in the opening of the film or beginning, can I keep you? And I think the layer of that sentence is put to a task in so many ways, because you can think of it as a person-to-person interaction where somebody is in love or just needs somebody. But you can also look at it as a human soul saying, I do not want to lose you, or even deeper than that, I don't want to be alone anymore. Going back to it is a child saying this, so it feels so raw. Next one up is a sci-fi movie, space opera that had a gigantic budget back in the days from 82, 83 that was trying to rip off Star Wars, but it flopped super hard at the cinema. And I remember this movie from early 90s, the first time I saw it on VHS, and I thought it was super cool. It was so weird to see a movie nobody talked about, nobody knew about, that I knew about. But then I revisited it later on DVD, and I thought it was a little bit... The story is not that good. And then I went back to it on Blu-ray later on, and I thought it was a little bit better, because the special effects are sometimes really cool in the film. And I love the Krull planet, but I'm looking forward to check it out on 4K. And now it's been some years since the last time I saw it, so let's see. How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen the originals yet. I know it's weird, but I will see the originals before I see this one. I have all of them, but I need to get around doing that. Next one up is The Conjuring. Yeah, I like the first film a lot. This one, up till the ending, the movie is close to a classic perfection of a great horror. I think the ending drags it a bit down, but I still think it's a really good film, and yeah. Next one up is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I did not like this film that much. It was fun seeing what I have done in the film, especially since there was long takes inside the cabin, and everything I fixed is in there, and I could see a lot of the stuff. But the film itself was way too long, I thought. The stunt was kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but wasn't that exciting. And I think it's sad because I love Tom Cruise. And the stupid side plot was something they should have thrown in the trash long before they started filming this one. I strongly think the director, Christoph McQuarrie, I think his name is absolutely not my cup of tea. And because I haven't liked any of his Mission Impossible films so far, and I think the Jack Reacher film he did was trash. So I have no idea why Cruise wants to make films with him. It's weird to me, actually. I actually revisited all the Mission Impossible films, and I found out that I liked the 3 first the best. And I find that strangely as well, because I was never a big fan of them either, but I still think they have a more kind of grounded story base. The thing that drives me to see films like this is because of Tom Cruise, the stunts and everything. So the next one up is 101 release. It's Tourist Trap from 1979, part of the Black Label. The fun thing, I think, with Tourist Trap is that I always, when I was younger, thought it was part of the Video Nasty list. I think I was around 15 or something when I found out it's not. But it was kind of, after it's released, they kind of marketed it as one of the extreme films from that list, probably during the physical release in early 90s. But it was a big title during the Norwegian Video Vold days. It's kind of the same video violence days, right? But we had our own thing in Norway. But I do know that the movie was cut down at least 5 minutes. I think it was almost 6 minutes in Norway. I have the VHS actually still. And it's one of those obscure titles that was actually released in Norway. But next one up is probably the best release all year. And this came out of nowhere. The Cat from 1992. 88 Films released this one. I love 88 Films. This is probably the wildest Hong Kong film from early 90s that ever got made. Maybe ever got made in Hong Kong. And it's not in violence, but it's in kind of everything. It's the peak era of Hong Kong, because I know 80s were many, but early 90s was crazy Hong Kong films. And when you see this film, you will scratch your head saying, how the fuck this movie get made? It's insane. I promise you. This is kind of beyond a trip you have ever been to in a movie before. And it's from the cult director and one of the absolute best in the genre, Lam Nai Choi, who also gave us the story of Ricky and Seven Curse and Vengeance. Her Vengeance is really good. All of them are really good, actually. And Erotic Ghost Story. Insane cool creature effects, amazing playful camera work. Reminds me a little bit, actually, of early Sam Raimi. Trash film vibe, sci-fi splatter, film noir, 80s stylist, kind of fog look, Michael Jackson type style. Plus a lot of cat kung fu. It's a cool fucking movie. It does a fight scene with a cat and a dog in the same stylistic way as Crunching Tiger, Hidden Dragon did 10 years later. One of the best releases of the year. Maybe the best. Next one up is a movie I actually have 2 copies of now, but I have an earlier copy of this one, The Pied Piper. So this is a 1986 Czechoslovakian film. This movie has some of the best stop motion effects you will ever see. It's kind of sad that this movie never got really broad release, because this is an amazing film and I'm super happy that Deaf Crocodile are releasing these films. They give these movies another chance, and this bastard really needs a chance. People need to watch this one. This is pure art on top of art. I love the design of everything in the film. And the story is kind of just a simple take from the Pied Piper of Hamelin, I think it's called. And that folk story is really dark. Most people have read that one. But this one follows it pretty closely, but it has a turn in the ending, the last act of the film. And it's also crazy. I learned this actually after I watched this film a year ago or something for the first time, that it's actually the original folktale or fairy tale is based on something people believe is something that happened close to that, but it's probably changed over the years. But if you know how dark the story is, it's kind of freaky. So this is just a new release of the same film, but you get some short films as well in here, and I haven't had time yet to see the short films, but I've seen the movie 2 times. The Pied Piper from the first release I got from it. The next one up is also a Deaf Crocodile release. Love the beautiful releases they do. This is The Devil's Bride. So this is a 74 Soviet-Lithuanian fantasy musical about a broken man who makes a deal with the devil. And later the devil comes back and wants the man's now grown-up beautiful daughter. It's a folk horror, also romance about greed and pride, and leads to tragedy when you have to deal with dark forces. But hey, there is music as well. I love this strange funky movie that reminds me of Switzerland, actually, the location, especially in the opening. Then the East Bloc countries. And it's so cool to see these hidden gems that I never knew about this film before, actually. So it's really, really cool to see them. These movies never got a broad release up here. I asked my father and he didn't know about any of the films I talk about on my channel often. So next one up is a super cool release because they are going to really release many of these. It's Treasures of Soviet Animation Volume 1. This is also Death Crocodile. And in this box set you get The Mystery of the Third Planet, a movie that I highly recommend everybody check out. You find it on YouTube as well, but buy this release and see the fucking film. It's an animation film from, I think, mid-80s, if I'm not mistaken. Really love light-hearted, the blend of children animation and storytelling for grown-ups. It's almost a little bit Star Trek in the vibes here as well. And it doesn't lean too much on poetry as Soviet films normally do. Not that that's a bad thing, I love it, but this is kind of a little bit easier to take. Lighter film. And fun characters and fun and very cute animation. The Pass is another 80s animation that's part of this one. I would say that's a lot more serious in tone. The songs are amazing in that one, especially the opening song or the first song that comes in. Love that one. Cool with a synth tone or synth core or what you call it. And the third one here is The Return. It's a later 80s from the same director, if I'm not mistaken, from The Pass. Visuals stunning. The only one of them I had seen before. And yeah, amazing release from Death Crocodile, as I said. And I can't wait for the next in the series to come out. I know the Treasure from Soviet Animation is on the way in the mail to me. And in that one, it's the Danish story, The Snow Queen, but it's on a Russian produced, made animation of the story. I've seen it before. It's insanely beautiful. And I never seen it with Russian language. Next one up is a Winger Syndrome 4K release. It's The Resurrected. So this is one of kind of a film I was really surprised I never seen before, because this is early 90s horror from America. That it's right up the alley that I would have loved as a kid. And I think I would have liked it better when I was younger, but I still liked it today. It's fun. It's one of the two features that Dan O'Bannon ever got to make. He did Return of the Living Dead right before this one, and then this. And I'm sad that he didn't do more, because he had qualities. The special effects in this one is fun, the setup is really good, and the style and mood is perfect. I just think that the childish stuff could have been toned down a little bit. There are some goofy moments that breaks kind of the wall of the dark tone in the film that I didn't like that much. But yeah, it was also fun to see Ross' girlfriend in this one, Ross from Friends, his ex-girlfriend, the one he has a baby with in this film. I never seen her in the movie before, I believe, but I knew her face from somewhere, and she was cute back in the days. Strange when you know she's a lesbian in Friends, and then you don't think about her being cute. But maybe that's a good thing. Separates the heterosexual from the gays. Wake in Fright. So this is a 71 Australian classic. And I had only seen parts of this film before. Always wanted to check out the entire thing. And now I have in 4K, and it's insane beautiful. So damn gritty and ugly and disgusting, but still super cute and nice. Yeah, Donald Pleasance's absolutely best role. At least his most greasy role. There is so much sweat here, manly sweat. You just have to love it. After he arrives to town, I actually forgot following the plot. I just watched the sweat drip from all the dirty men throughout the almost 2 hours running time in the film, and I loved every second of it. I felt seasick for a while in the film, not because of the camera movement, but more because of the storytelling. It's so fucking alcohol and sweat and shit. But it's almost like a Western meet a gambling movie, meet Leaving Las Vegas, meet, I don't know, a gritty exploitation film from the heydays. But I highly recommend it. Next one up is 2020 Texas Gladiators. George Eastman should stick to acting after watching this one. But saying that, I did actually love this film. This is not a great directed movie, But it is great because it's so badly directed. There is action throughout the entire fucking film. There's nudity throughout the entire fucking film. A lot of sexy girls. But there is no body to root for. And there is no reason to see this movie if you are not into action and nudity. But I'm into both of those, so I love the film. And it looks so damn sexy in 4K. This is the most post-apocalyptic film you can ever get. And it's actually beat Mad Max when it comes to actually being post-apocalyptic. It's so insane. This is kind of Deathstalker in fantasy. 2020 Texas Gladiator is for post-apocalyptic. It's 19 television episode put together in a 90 minutes film. Next one up is The Neverending Story. So this is probably my favorite fantasy family film ever. From West Germany in the 80s, Wolfgang Petersen crafted together a perfect blend of art house cinema, fantasy horror and poetry on screen, told through a kid's POV. It's from a best-selling book. The author actually hated this film when it was released, and he didn't want it to be mentioned, the book, part of the release. But who cares? Writers are mentally ill. This movie is perfect. I have a 4K release of it from before that I've seen multiple times, and it's the same scan as this one I've heard. But it's one of the best scans I ever seen on a movie ever. So I actually bought this second release. It was really expensive, but I bought it because we are going to screen it on cinema soon. So I wanted the best version. Sankt Kabuki Man, NIPD from 1990. This is a trauma film, one of their high notes, or how you say it, like most famous trauma films. I think it's a decent, fun film. It's not my favorite at all, but I haven't seen it for years. It's absolutely not on my top list, but it's between probably 10 and 15 place of trauma films. I have it on DVD, but from Another World Entertainment, but it was nice to upgrade it now. And I will go back and watch it again. I think it leans too much into the same territory as Toxic Avenger 2 and 3 does. Too goofy, but it has fun moments and cool scenes. So Mixed Blood, know nothing about it. It's from '84, Flesh for Frankenstein, Blood for Dracula, directed by Paul Morrissey. And yeah, I guess he directed a gangster film as well. I know nothing about it, but it sounds like my type of movie, so I'm looking forward to check it out. A New Leaf, I know even less about this, except that I read something. This is a 4K release, and the Mixed Blood was also 4K. This film had I have no fucking idea what this film is about. Only that it's directed by probably the worst female director ever when you think about all the crap she got of that 84, was it, release, Ishtar. I actually think Ishtar is fun, but it's fun because it's so fucking weird. I will go into this with no hopes, so maybe I will be happy. Who knows? At least I liked Ishtar a little bit. So We Know Angels. So this is a movie I had on VHS back in the days. I don't remember anything from it except that the cover art with De Niro and Penn standing like two pedophiles on the front cover. And I also think that I remember Demi Moore in the film where she has this kind of strict, kind of weird haircut in it. I think that's what I remember from the film. But I can't remember if it's good, bad, or anything. Next one up is gang-related. I actually got this film some years ago on Blu-ray, so I picked this up because I have all of these films in the cinematography line. I haven't seen it since the 90s probably, and it was in the days where I loved these black gangster movies. Yeah, and Tupac was big back in the days as well, so I think the reason I remember specifically that film is probably because of Belushi and Tupac. The Woman Chaser. Never heard of this comedy from the 90s, but it's the same director who made the disgusting fucking documentary Sue from 2007. I saw it some years ago. I wanted to puke. It's about middle-aged men in America fucking horses. I hope this movie is about something else. Next one up is a super cool release of a pretty mediocre film, but I think it's still watchable. I've seen the movie 2 times, but it's been years now, so I wanted to see it again. So when Umbrella released this and I saw the release, I had to grab it. It looks so damn cool. And I actually have a nostalgic kind of experience with a screening of The Black Sheep. So I do recommend the movie, actually. Next one up is Mac and Me. So I did go back and watch this a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago or something. Man, it's bad. But it's so bad that it actually get a little bit of fun. It's kind of in the same territory as Howard the Duck. The only thing that makes Howard a bit better is because of the extreme grown-up humor in Howard the Duck. The fact that Leah Thompson actually wants to fuck a duck, that's insane funny to me. But in Mac and Me, it kind of feels in the same layer as Howard the Duck, but it never dares to go into any of those weird territories like that. The director, Rafil, I think his name is, he has some films that are in the same territory as this, I would say. I remember I grew up on a movie called Mannequin on the Move that I liked a lot as a kid. I haven't seen it since. I don't actually own it anymore, I think. He also did Ice Pirates. And he did also Tammy and the T-Rex. And that movie I actually think works. I like Tammy and the T-Rex a lot. But Mac and Me was a fun watch, and I will absolutely keep it. But people are saying it's better than E.T. I don't hate you, but I will tell you to contact a mental asylum. You should not walk around free. You should be behind bars. E.T. is way better. So, Exploitation Rarities Volume 3, Empty Beach, Goodbye Paradise, Scobie Malone. I think I've seen Scobie Malone. I'm not sure, but that sounds familiar. I just love the Exploitation films, so I will grab all of the rarities they release in these box sets. I think this is the box with the highest rating of the film so far. I haven't seen any of the films from any of the box yet, so I'm looking forward to check them out. And there's an Umbrella release with the Full Moon Fright Box Volume 2. I want to collect many of these Full Moon films I saw when I was a kid, plus some I only heard about. So I picked up both of these sets from Umbrella, and I will probably pick up if they release more of these. I've seen Sorority Babes in Slime Ball-O-Rama, I think it's called. I think I have it as part of the 88 slasher film collection, if I'm not mistaken. But I know I've seen it, but I can't remember it. Puppet Master, of course, I've seen. Shadow Zone, I think I've seen it because I remember the poster, but I could just be... Full Moon had a lot of cool posters, so... And Seed People, I don't know if I've seen it, but I've seen the poster through my entire fucking life. So I will go back and check out all of these. Next up is Larry Fessenden, and this is 2 box sets actually, so let's just put both of them here right away. Yeah. Habit, No Telling, Wendigo, and The Last Winter. For me, I was not a fan of any one of them. I think Wendigo was boring and used the same tropes you've seen 100 times before. It's kind of like folk horror would, some sort of stop-motion freak killing of people. And The Last Winter was the Thing rip-off in many ways, without any alien and more psychological shit. An oil thing, if I remember rightly. That never grabbed me. Ron Perlman is pretty decent in the film, or he's good in the film, but he doesn't help the movie that much. Habit was a vampire wannabe film with some cool stylistic choices, I think, and I kind of like that lesbian woman in the film. Yeah, it was way too much retelling of the same shit throughout the 90 minutes running time, or how long was it? I think all of these films were like 1 hour and 50 minutes long. They felt at least long. But No Telling was my favorite, but still nothing special. I did like some of the camera movement and stuff like that. The acting was good, and the animatronic special effects worked as hell in the film. I really dig the last scene with that dog, or what. It was freaky as hell. But the story was kind of boring. They are going out of my collection, both of these box sets. He's not my kind of director. I've seen one more film of him, but I can't remember which it was. Next one is Dario Argento's Oprah. So I wanted this movie since Severin Film announced it, but it was way too expensive, so I bought it now through the sale. I think this is a really good film, but it's still the weakest out of his best 6, counting Tenebrae, Suspiria, Phenomena, Deep Red, Inferno, and Oprah. But I still think Oprah is a really, really fucking good film. I just think it leans a little bit too hard on the editing in the film. It goes over the top at times. But I'm super happy to own it on 4K, and I will absolutely see it soon. It's probably 2 years or something since the last time I saw it, and that's a movie I can go back to quite often. Next one up is Danse Macabre Volume 3, a Spanish Gothic collection, also from Severin Films. I only seen 3 of the 4 films in this box, and I did not love any of them. They were really in the middle, all of them. Not bad, not good, just okay. Cake of Blood is an anthology film with 4 parts, all of them pretty simple and boring. Necrophagos, or how you say it, or the English title was The Butcher of Binbrook, or something like that. It is slow as hell for the first 40 minutes with no fucking thing happening at all. But boom, we get a Bigfoot creature attacking a woman and a child. The scene is shot in a, again, Sam Raimi type of style, and it's kind of a shocker when you are used to the tempo of the earlier part of the film. But then the movie goes into some melodrama, and it feels like early soap series from Spain for the rest of the running time. There was a woman there called something with Clement, I can't remember her name, but she was really fine. And the last of the films I've seen is The Night of the Walking Dead, a vampire movie without really anything to say, except borrowing a lot from the Hammer horror type style films. But at least I knew the director from that one, so I don't know, it gives something. Same director who did The Werewolf and The Vampire Woman and Trauma, and I actually like Trauma a bit, so... But I do not recommend this box set. I actually like the other 2 box sets a lot more. I only seen 2 films from both of the other 2, but both of those films were way better. So the last one I have for this time around is Bellatar box set from Curzon collection. And this is a Hungarian director. I had never seen anything from him before, but within a week I managed to see all of the films. And from the box set I can say I hated his earlier films. They were noisy, boring, and very not watchable in my opinion. I do think he managed to get some really good acting out of the films, but they were just gruesome to get through. I can't really explain it. And yes, they speak about the situation under the communist rules and blah blah blah, but a movie needs to be interesting for me to see at least. There needs to be something. Couldn't just be about communism, Nazism, or fucking Disney princesses. There must be something. But as I call it, his second run, and I think the movies where he found his style that actually was a little bit developed through one of his early films, Macbeth, a TV movie that is his worst film actually. But in that film you can see the style he is shaping up to use later on. And when he find his perfect style, I think he has crafted some of the most amazing films ever made. He did a movie called Damnation that I liked. But the reason I don't put it highest up there is because I feel that it's a little bit too close to normal filmmaking, traditional filmmaking. And it's when he managed to separate himself from films that we are used to, that's when he shine, I think. And the same was with The Man from London, really good film, but still a little bit too close to the normal narrative we are used to. But then he did Wreckmeister Harmonies that I think is beyond amazing. But I had to use almost an hour to get into the film. So that's also the reason it's not on the top. But I did love it, no doubt about it. Satan Tango is the one that took me most by surprise. But at the same time, I promised myself I need to go back and see it again. I fell off, or I didn't really cope with the film before 2 hours in, and it's a 7 hours long film. So, but when they started walking, and you know what I'm talking about if you have seen the film, that's when the movie captured me. And from that moment on, I was into his universe full time. But I need to see that movie again before I even rate the film, because it's hard to rate these films also, because the best films you give 10 out of 10 because they are so amazing. But his masterpiece in my book, without a doubt, the movie I've seen already 3 times, and a movie I will watch many times in the future, because it's kind of the movie that relaxes me most, but also terrifies me. It asks me questions about heaven and hell, about everything you can imagine, evil and good, pain or feeling less, love and hate, and yeah, it's the Turin Horse. It's a movie I can't even explain, to be honest, because I've seen it 3 times now and I still don't really understand it, but I wonder if it's kind of a metaphoric kind of mark on the film as well, where it's the end of time, and because it's really a post-apocalyptic setting, but it speaks through poetry in a way you can only find if you use the Bible and use the words from the Bible to describe something in real life, right? And it's kind of also a pretty simple setting where you only have 3 characters throughout the story, including a horse. And the scene with the horse is just a soft touch, but it feels so insanely hurtful, so impactful. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. And I can't even describe the movie. It's way too big and too small to describe. It's impossible. And I'm super happy I got to experience Béla Tarr's universe, Béla Tarr's world. It's something different. He is one of the newest directors, even though he started in the late 70s. He's one of the newest directors, I would say, that really impacted film in a brand new way that could only come from the east of Europe. Yeah, it's strange, Hungary, how many great filmmakers they have. I would just say this is an amazing, amazing experience, but you need to choose to go into this with a different mindset, because this is a different way to watch films. And I know many people don't like when you say stuff like that, because it sounds like you are trying to talk about art in a way that is great, that maybe some people don't understand. But I look at it like this: if I watched all films with the same kind of, if I went into all films with the same kind of feeling, I will be disappointed 9 out of 10 times. But I need to change or switch my brain in one way or the other way when it comes to some kind of experience out there. And Béla Tarr is one of them. And I'm happy I started with his first films, so I kind of learned slowly the way this was moving. But it's kind of a big switch when it comes to the 90s with him. It's kind of almost like a different director, to be honest. But I still see, as I said, stuff from the Macbeth film and also some of the acting stuff he did before. But I highly recommend you to check out Béla Tarr. It's insanely good art, I would rather say. So this was everything from this time. I didn't have that many films. It's been 4 months. Normally I would have had a lot more, but I only buy what I really want now, and sometimes I buy some blind buys. Probably sold about 15 titles so far, so that I should have shown off because they were new, but I'm happy I got to sell them because I didn't want them in the collection. Thank you for following and have a nice day. Bye 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 bye.